Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero reaction. Today we have Norma's EP, Chaos.exe, which just rolls off the tongue as a whole line of words there. I really like how it feels. Norma's EP, Chaos.exe. And it's an awfully hot coffee pot. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to be listening to this. Nobody specifically asked for this one, but it's the newest one. I saw some people kind of throwing it around, so why not get to it? So without further ado, let's go! Wow. That kind of just kicks right in, doesn't it? If this is how it starts.
Star crash right in me. New idea, I can't release. Signal taking over me, but I love it.
Oh man. God, the mix on this one. Dude, this is so clean. I'm so excited for whatever this is gonna be. It kicks so hard. It's so good. God. It's crispy. It's so clean.
Overdrive, I overthink and override the DNA in my designs.
Okay. Buff Ricardo Boo.
Analyze and override the system. No, I don't need the permission. It's a chemical invention. I'll rewrite all my predictions.
Musically and visually, this reminds me a lot of Penny and Stocking, actually. It's got a lot of similarities. Albeit this kicks a little bit harder. Damn. Damn. Still denied at the end, too. That was so clean. Like, I say this all the time with Zenless's stuff, how clean their production is. This might be some of the crispiest, most beautiful mixing they've thrown out there. Every frequency was perfectly in line. Nothing was out of phase. It was so beautifully mixed. For once, I actually have names that aren't just Sanzi for the producers of this song. Han.irl and Zongru. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You is the one who did all of the production, post-production and everything, which is where all of the beauty of the balance of this song really would lie. The general production of the song kind of seems to trade hands between the two of them, but you seems to be the one that's handling a lot of the post work. So it's hell yeah, holy shit. What an amazing quality. I say this whenever I come across any producer that's really good at that function, because that is so difficult to really narrow in on the perfect quality of production. Sanzi does an amazing job with it. Sometimes they hit it out of the park like this, but it seems to be more 20 to 30% of the time they get a really clean mix like this. This was just one of those times where it wasn't Sanzi and they got somebody who knew what the fuck they were doing, exactly where to place these synths, how they would work against each other, what would and wouldn't butt up well against something else. That's the problem with a lot of mixing and production. Not that I'm necessarily a pro in this field at all, but I understand the science of mixing more than I do actually applying it myself, because I'm just bad and lazy at that side. But in concept, the function of getting things to mix and work well in that way is making sure that frequencies, the wobbly air that's entering your ears, make sure that they don't step on each other's toes too much. You have a lot of audio and a lot of frequencies, a lot of sound travels at very similar frequency ranges. So you need to be able to balance that out. That's why mixing exists. You have to make room for some things and then like boost certain frequencies in other spots so you have something that sounds clear and very efficient. Obviously, with this song being EDM, it's a little bit easier to control all those variables because you're not dealing with the acoustic properties of an acoustic instrument. Like the drums behind me, for example, historically a pain in the ass to mix, truly. But like when you get down to the technicalities of it in EDM, you can really pick and choose what wobbly waveforms and, you know, wobbly air you want to be present in any given moment. And that still requires a mastery of understanding of certain synths. What synths move what ways? Do you want something that's more sawtoothy, jagged, and like very aggressive? Do you want something that's more like a sine wave that's smoother and much more consistent in that way? And how all of these butt up against each other. If you have a sharp, jagged sawtooth butting up against a sine wave, those frequencies in the negative space, like the spots that aren't being taken up by either or of those, and in having that gap there, that's what makes songs sound a little bit worse. It's really not something that is like, oh yeah, I hear it immediately. Because when you're mixing anything, you're going to have some of that cancellation. It's just part of the reality of music and sound science. It's a pain in the ass, and that's why engineers get paid what they do to be able to handle what they do. But when it comes down to songs like this, and again, kind of in the EDM scene where things are a little bit easier to control, it takes a firm understanding, if not just plain old sheer luck, to be able to get exactly in those gaps and ride that tightrope line as finally as you can to the finish line. Make it as clean as possible, bump frequencies exactly where they need to be nice and crispy in the ears, something that just feels really good. It kind of tickles the back of your neck a little bit at times, and the vocal balance in this song as well. It wasn't treated like the vocals were sitting on top of the rest of the song, which, while perfectly a fine option, especially in most genres, having the vocalist on the top and very clear, and being able to hear those vocals the most present in the mix and just keeping that as part of the identity of the track. For this one, they treated the vocals more like an instrument and kind of nestled them in and glued them together a little bit closer to each other, so it feels more like another synth in there, especially with all the effects added to the voice as well. Not too much, but enough that it feels more synthetic and, again, fits in with the song a little bit more. It probably cleans up things in that waveform that make it feel a little bit more proper. So really good job on that side. I know I'm like nerding out about mostly the science of sound for this one, because this is EDM, and like I've talked about many a time before, there's not so much music theory stuff I want to get into on this one. The sound science of how they handled this balance in the mix is absolutely the more important part for this one. The song was a banger, the beat was kicking, it was constant, it was consistent, it felt fan-fucking-tastic. You will not hear any argument from me on that side, but when it comes down to the technicalities of the musical direction, there's really not much in there other than the usual, like, here's a chord, there's a chord, and it bounces between maybe three, you know? It doesn't even have like a hook or an emotional break in this song. It kind of just keeps the energy going the whole time. So that like EDM standard of just bouncing between two major chords is basically all this song did. The true hero of this song is the production, is exactly what they did with the synths and how much fun they had with the vocals and processing all that in there. The lyrics are really fun too, so it all just makes sense. The visuals are fucking beautiful. Again, this reminds me a lot of Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, a lot more in the visual and the audio side, especially the original series, more than I would say the newer stuff, just because the old soundtrack was so banging, and while they kept a lot of that, it just doesn't hit the same as the original soundtrack for me. So this hits that. This fits right in there. If you were to say that this was like a cutaway in Panty and Stocking, I would believe you. You know, like you could fool me if you didn't tell me otherwise. So they nailed that. They got it again. Love the aesthetic. Love how they approached it. And I think that's about all I gotta say on this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Zenless, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!